In this historic decision, the Supreme Court has now overturned Roe v. Wade, and the follow-on case called Casey, in which the abortion right was made nationwide. Those two rulings stood for the proposition that states could not ban abortion before the age of viability. They could restrict it during that period up to about 23 weeks, but they couldn't ban it. Now the Supreme Court has taken that guarantee away.
Railway workers in the UK are demanding a pay hike, and it's launched a nationwide strike. It's the biggest strike in 30 years in the UK. Most railway stations are either shut or have partially suspended services. The strike is just the beginning. It could soon engulf almost every sector in the UK. Teachers, nurses, barristers, they could all stage a walkout.
Thousands of Dutch farmers are rallying against the government on their tractors. Traffic in central Netherlands and around Amsterdam has come to a standstill.
Thousands of farmers have assembled, protested against. This is one of the largest ever demonstrations by the farmers. They are driving in with their tractors, blowing horns and causing widespread.
Thousands of people joined a protest outside the Gare du Nord station in Brussels. Over 70,000 people are thought to have taken part in national demonstrations over the cost of living in Belgium. Widespread disruption at Brussels airport also halted all outbound flights. Workers at London's Heathrow Airport have voted to strike over pay as surging inflation erodes salaries and sparks growing industrial unrest. Almost 700 workers are set to strike.
A daily headline in the United States. Not a day goes by when gun terror does not claim the lives of innocent individuals in the US. There were at least 10 mass shootings across America, 10 shootings in 2 days, 16 people killed, 60 others injured.
Hi lovely viewers, and welcome back to the channel. So, the north node of the moon, also called Rahu, is having a lot of significant changes and conjunctions causing major worldwide unrest and protests regarding restrictions on women's reproductive rights, military enrollment schemes like Agnipath, and even employee strikes against being overworked and underpaid during the inflation. The transit of Rahu in Bharani nakshatra started on the 14th of June 2022 and will stay in this nakshatra until 20th of February 2023. Now, the reason why I'm making this video after the transit has already begun is because there were few predictions of happenings of instances I was expecting to be seeing, and well, surely the world events happening since the 14th of June have not been contrary to my predictions yet. So, let me take you through the significations of what it means for Rahu to be transiting the nakshatra of Bharani, and also consequently getting conjunct in its transit with Mars. And this would make a lot of sense in correlation to the events happening around the world right now. In case you want to know and understand what a nakshatra is, you can see a pop-up on the right hand side of the video regarding the basics of nakshatra in Vedic astrology. Before I begin the in-depth analysis of these transits for the world events and also how this would affect you on a personal level, I would like to request you to please hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel, as your support truly means a lot to grow this channel and be able to reach a wider audience of astrology enthusiasts. Thank you, and let's start the video off by understanding the significations of Bharani nakshatra. Bharani nakshatra is the second one in the nakshatra belt of 27 lunar constellations. The ruling planet of this nakshatra is Venus, and its symbol is that of a yoni or a female reproductive organ. Also, the word Bharani itself means one who bears. When we put together all these significations, we understand that this nakshatra is closely related to the feminine energy and fertility. Now, the deity of this nakshatra is Lord of Death and Justice Yamaraj. Yama plays a vital role in rejuvenation and maintaining the balance of the world through the continuous cycle of birth and death. The soul of a dead person is made to appear before him, and he passes the judgment according to the deeds that one has carried out in their earthly plane. He is also referred to as Dharmaraja due to his unwavering commitment to maintain order and harmony. And because of this reason, Bharani nakshatra is also referred to as a Krura or Ugra nakshatra, which means fierce and harsh, because it deals with themes of death, responsibility, forbearance, morality, karma, and hence is also known as the star of restraint. When we mix and match the significations of this nakshatra, which is the very first thing in the recent happenings in the world that crosses your mind? You guessed it right, the US Supreme Court reversing the 50-year-old precedent-setting case of Roe v. Wade, which deals with abortion rights of women. The next significant change that the rule-breaking energy of Rahu is bringing when it gets conjunct with the planet of Mars, which symbolizes aggression and military force in astrology, is that it makes way for a tectonic shift to take place in the society by the medium of aggression and protests. Rahu anyway now is transiting through the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars. And then on top of that, Mars comes in conjunction with it during its transit from 27th of June to the 10th of August 2022, which only adds fuel to the fire. There's a huge uproar and protest arising through India right now in opposition to the recent military employment schemes announced by the government. This is an exact example of the kind of effect this conjunction of Mars and Rahu in Aries sign will be amplifying the energies of the Angarak Yoga which is formed. Now because of this transit, there is also a very real chance of some worldwide wars beginning between nations, let's say like China and Taiwan, and also the conditions of the wars that are already underway, like that of Ukraine and Russia conflict, getting even more violent during this period of the transit. Now the way these wars will be impacted is very interesting because Rahu is a planet of invention and unconventionality, and the mythology of how Rahu came into existence tells us a lot about how these wars are going to be fought. So according to the Vedic history, the pivotal moment of Samudra Manthan, also known as joining of the ocean for holy water, gave rise to the conception of the two nodes of the moon, that is Rahu and Ketu. So as the story goes, when the female incarnation of Lord Vishnu was distributing Amrit or holy water amongst the Devas and Asuras, one of the Asuras known as Swarabhanu morphed his appearance to be able to receive the serum of immortality, and upon knowing this, his head was cut off by Lord Vishnu. But rather than dying, it gave rise to two entities, as he had already consumed the immortality imbibing serum of life by committing his treacherous trickery. So this energy gets conjunct the planet of Mars can only give rise to very secretive, sinister coups that get committed yet stays unnoticed until long. Okay, now that we have understood and evaluated the world predictions based on these transits, we are going to move forward to checking the personalized predictions for all signs based on the transit of Rahu into Bharani nakshatra and its conjunction with Mars. But before I begin with each zodiac sign's predictions, I'll just briefly explain how I'll be making these predictions for you. Which is that when it comes to Rahu's Bharani nakshatra transit, as its ruler is the planet of Venus, hence wherever in your chart the signs that are ruled by Venus, that is Taurus and Libra, fall, will be the energy that would be amplified. When it comes to the transit of Mars getting conjunct with Rahu in the sign of Aries, hence wherever this sign falls in your chart is where you will see a dramatic trigger undertaking. Now, finally, let's get on with the personalized predictions for all zodiac signs, and starting off with the first sign of Aries. So for Aries, a lot of energy is being focused on your first house of self, and clearly it shows that right now your greatest priority and focus is on you. And if we go further, then even more so on how you look. So this period can have you become more physically active and wanting to change your appearance and health in general. You can also notice transformations taking place because of this in your personal finances and romantic relationships, wherein this new self-focused energy in a way can shake up your old ways of dealing with your finances and work and even romance. But you need to be careful about not becoming so self-absorbed that your presence becomes overbearing and selfish. Also, beware of your anger during this period as it sits right on your head during this transit, causing the likelihood of you getting into arguments and even physical fights to be more pronounced. For Taurus, a lot of your energy is being focused on your health and overall well-being. Hence, you are going to be focused on taking care of your health and any sort of minor diseases or just ups and downs you notice when it comes to your health. A lot of you could also be struggling with your sense of identity in relation to the work that you do and wanting to maybe radicalize your work profile and just try something new for a change. Your plans to travel long distance can seem to be taking up steam during this transit period, but you will also have to be careful regarding your health and possible hospitalizations on such travels. Your sleep can also be affected due to all the possibilities mentioned until now, and this can again lead to health issues. So, my humble advice to you would be to be very careful and cautious regarding your health and to take appropriate measures to deal with these issues, as prevention is always better than cure. For Gemini, a lot of energy is being focused on your friendships and romantic relationships. Though this might sound like a good omen, which I hope it really is, but the sense of excitement and effervescence I feel can mislead you into taking the wrong decisions and allowing people who might not really have your best interests at heart to have access to you. So you need to be careful of the people you meet and come to rely on during this transit, as the probability of not ending up with or just simply losing these connections you have made is highly possible. You could also meet these people during one of your travels or just on the internet, but they are going to be quite unexpected and foreign to you. Be careful regarding any fights or misunderstanding with your friends and network circle, and as well as taking risky decisions regarding your speculative gains. For Cancer, a lot of energy is being focused on your work life and home balance as well, and making money moves, leading to greater profits. You feel very energized and rejuvenated in your career right now, which is causing your focus to be very laser-like on maximizing your profits, and this can also lead you to having some sort of unexpected change or transformation in your home or the place you stay. A very possible probability being you moving your home as you grow and climb the professional ladder. But you also need to be careful regarding your relationship with your superior, as there is a possibility of you either being duped or kept in a secret, which can lead to fights and outbursts with your superiors. You might also find yourself making newer friends or acquaintances, which grows your network circle. For Leo, a lot of energy is being focused on your travel, be it short distance or long distances, in relation to your work, but also could be a possibility that you undertake these travels for some sort of religious or spiritual reasons, and a lot of you will document this journey and will be able to expand on your communication with different people from various nationalities or cultures. If you are a business owner, then this could also lead you to change your marketing tactics and imbibe a lot of social media presence into your repertoire. There can be possibility of some misunderstanding or fights taking place between you and your father that could lead to some distress, as it can relate to your identity and ego being jeopardized. You can also receive some help from your siblings in relation to your work and possible recommendations leading you to better jobs maybe. For Virgo, a lot of energy is being focused on sudden unexpected changes and transformations taking place, which can also start to make you question or just reconsider your religious or moral beliefs and how your family identity is linked to that. There's a lot of energy focused on physical intimacy and possibly some violent, unconventional instances or happenings that you need to be careful about in case that is not your preference or something that you haven't consented for. Don't be scared of these changes that are taking place in your personal life that is causing you to move towards a newer concept of religion or spiritual practice that you want to adopt and practice rather than just having to follow those for your family's beliefs. For Libra, a lot of energy is being focused on your romantic and business relationships as you are known to be the sign who wants to strike the perfect balance as represented by the equalizing scales of your zodiac sign. Yet, during this period, your relationships don't exactly look to be as harmonious and peaceful as you would want them to, hence causing you to have to reevaluate the real value and worth that your relationships are bringing to your life and how this is impacting even your own self-image. This can be a time you experience a lot of unexpected changes and transformations in your relationships that force you to really reconsider any dependency or self-image issues that arise as a result of these changes and uncomfortable situations touted to happen in your relationships during this period of the transit. You can even end up meeting someone new who you completely didn't expect to, and their impact on you can be quite unconventional to your usual pattern. For Scorpio, a lot of energy is being focused on your work equations and threat of losses from your enemies, especially if you're running your own business. You can start to see some tension boiling under the surface at your workplace with people possibly conspiring against you, which can cause you to feel more anxious or on edge than usual. You, being the master of secrets, will not exactly expose your cards to others, but will probably be able to conquer all these attacks by your enemies or simply not your well-wishers, but not without suffering some sort of loss in your business that they might not even know about. Also a possibility that you might face some health issues during this transit, especially pertaining to your digestive system, and this might also make you focus on your health. For Sagittarius, a lot of energy is being focused on your friendships and romantic relationships. Even though the physical part of your romantic relationships can become better or different than usual, yet there is also the possibility of fights and disagreements taking place with your romantic partner. You can also notice change or transformation happening at your workplace or simply with your work profile, as you can be changing your work or job that further translates into a dramatic change or transformation in your network circle and monetary benefits, like even, let's say, like your salary package or benefits. You need to be careful though regarding the risk you are willing to undertake with speculative gains like crypto or the stock market. For Capricorn, a lot of energy is being focused on your home and family pursuits. There is going to be some sort of either leadership change or just change of your own perceived fun that you are able to have at work or that you derive from work, which is going to lead you to consider about drastically transforming your work profile, and hence just also simply cause a disconnect with your work. It makes you focus more on your personal life, and hence your family and home become your priority more so. Your work can also take a backseat right now because of some tensions arising at your home with your family, especially maybe your brother or mother, that leads you to have to focus more on the aspects of your home and family so that you can secure the sanctity of your familial bonds. For Aquarius, a lot of energy is being focused on your travel, be it short or long distance, in the hopes of finding some sort of feelings of home or comfort that you feel like you are in need of at this point. This can be caused because of some disturbances in the dynamic that you share with your siblings or even your parents. The stand that your parents take on this fight could be unexpected or unconventional, which might lead you to want to disassociate and reform your relations, but through exploring and traveling, uncover these unsaid tumultuous feelings that you could be going through right now as this transit is underway. In general, your communication can come off as quite harsh or inconsiderate at this point, which you need to be careful about in case you don't want to aggravate any fights or misunderstandings. And last but not the least, for Pisces, a lot of energy is being focused on family and your relations with them. There can be a possibility of some rifts happening at this point, which can cause unexpected sudden changes and transformations within your family dynamic. You will also need to be careful about your speech and to not let your anger dictate your equation with your family. There can also be some sort of connections which are formed online through social media that could have a considerable transformational reaction for you, and this can lead you to travel more and meet quite an eclectic sort of circle of people which can influence your thinking and communication. And with all these personalized predictions done, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you found some relevance from the information shared through the medium of this video. And if so, then please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it would mean a lot to have your support on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and also sound off in the comment section about further video recommendations, as I would love to know what it is that you're really interested to watch. I'll see you soon with the next video. Until then, take care you all.